Jesus tells us in the book of Matthew to take up our cross and follow him. But what does that look like? Hi, my name is Keith, and this is my daily walk. Today my daily walk takes me actually into my own backyard because it's raining and I needed to keep the camera underneath the cover of my roof. But I'll be walking, there's a park behind me, and I'll be walking in just a few minutes here on my daily walk. But today's walk takes me to the book of Matthew, chapter 10, and I'll read those verses for you. Starting in 37, ending in verse 39, it says this: "Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever does not take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it." If we go back a little bit in that chapter, Jesus is calling his disciples, and he's preparing them for the times ahead as they serve Jesus while he's still alive, and he's preparing them for ministry. And some of the things in this chapter that I find for ourselves, the first one is that he tells us that we need to love him more than we love our family. And that's not an easy thing to do. I know for myself, for many years, I had a hard time understanding the concept that, I needed to love Jesus more than I loved my own wife, more than I loved my kids, more than I even loved my grandkids. I have 5 grandkids, and I adore my grandkids, every one of them. But Jesus says that we need to love him more than we love even our amazing little grandkids. And for me, the way that happened was that I started to really understand the magnitude of my sin. I understood that Jesus, when he died for me on the cross, he says that no greater love is this, that one who lays down his life for his friend. And so when Jesus laid down his life for me on the cross, when I really grasped the concept of salvation and the concept and the reality, for that matter, of the cross, is when I really understood what it meant that I needed to love him more than I love even my family. And so, as he says in these verses to pick up our cross, the cross was an element of death. It was a way that they executed people in the Roman world. And so for us to pick up our cross today, what that really means is that we need to understand that we will face ridicule, we'll face persecution, we'll face challenges as a Christian. And are we ready each and every day for that? Have we taken up our cross? In other words, do we understand that the Christian life is the crucified life? That when we take up our cross for Jesus, we are taking it up and saying that I am willing to face whatever comes my way in the strength of Christ, and whether that be persecution, whether that be even just ridicule for sharing our faith at work or with our friends. But I am willing to take that cross up and follow Christ at whatever the cost. When Jesus says, "Whoever loses his life for my sake will find it," what he means here is that if we're going to call ourselves disciples, we need to die to our flesh. In Galatians chapter 2, verse 20, Paul says, "I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me." Jesus says that if we lose our life for his sake, we will find it. What that means is that when we have the desires of Christ, we are going to die to the desires of our flesh. We're going to die to the desires of having more money, a bigger house, just more things, more pleasures, more comforts. And we're going to pursue the things of Christ. We're going to see, as what I talked about yesterday, the unreached. We're going to see that our resources, that our time, that our money, that our hearts, that our affections are in pursuit of the things that Christ would have for us. And that means that our time and our money and the things that we have should go towards the work of the kingdom and not towards the work of the flesh. And so for me, what that means is that as I work and I have a job and I minister to people in the place that I work, the money that I make, the things that I buy should really have a kingdom purpose. And so I have to ask myself that even today. is the money that I earn going towards the kingdom, or is it going towards myself? Do I spend my time entertaining myself in front of the television, or do I spend my time in the Word, understanding the Bible, learning the Bible, helping bring awareness to the unreached and to those who don't have Jesus? Am I spending my time encouraging someone who doesn't know the Lord in how they could have a hope and peace and joy in the Lord? Those are things that I have to ask myself each and every day as I pick up my own cross. So today I encourage you, if you are one who says that you're a believer in Jesus Christ, I encourage you to analyze your own life. Are you really following after Jesus by picking up your cross, by dying to yourself, by loving Him more than you even love your own family? Or are you using Christ as a way to get to heaven? And, in the end, you're going to make it to that eternal glory, which is obviously all of our end goal. So that's my encouragement to you. Just do a little bit of self-analysis today. Ask yourself, am I crucified with Christ? Is it no longer I who live, but does Christ truly live in me? And if you want more about this, you can go to mydailybibleverse.org. In there, I share a little bit about this verse and a little bit more deeper. And also, I appreciate you watching this video all the way to the end. If you like these videos, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel. Also, share these with your friends, and I'd love to get more of this word out each and every day. So I encourage you, live daily in Christ, and may you always glorify Him in everything that you do.